the battle. And I know, I'll never will. Let me turn this off, guys. Hey, Google, stop playing music. Hey, Google, stop playing music. It's blowing right now. You know, Google hard-headed. She'll listen, or whatever he is. So just wanted to come out here today. I know that, you know, this is day two of breaking generational curses, and just wanted to do my recording today. It's been a tough day, guys. It's been a tough day. Started out a little rough, full of emotions, just, you know, having to grasp a lot of things, digging deep, right, into what those generational curses are, right? But we have to realize, can you stop? I'm sorry, guys, those are my dogs and they're being hard-headed. Coda, go over there, go. So just, you know, we got to realize that those generational curses, they're real. You know, I know I had some comments of people saying that, you know, they don't exist, but, you know, that's your opinion, right? When you've lived through them and you know that they do exist, right? Then once you realize that they do exist and you do nothing about them, I'm just, you know, anyways, let's push forward. Today, like I said, it was really, really rough start to my day. But I got so much to be thankful for, because even though, you know, like right now, you know, I'm not working, right? Lost my job or whatever. However, I am going to thank God that I still, one, have a roof over my head. For two, you know, he's going to make a way, right? He's going to make sure I'm good. Like, I am not going to miss a beat because he's going to take care of me, right? And the more I think about it, when I'm thinking about like everything that continues to happen in my life, like the devil is just busy, right? And when the devil knows that you have an assignment or that you have a purpose, right? That he's going to attack you, right? He's going to make you think that what he told, you know, that what God told you or showed you before wasn't true, right? He's going to make you question yourself and then question God, right? So needless to say, I did that over the weekend, questioned God as far as, or didn't believe, right? But my fault, right? And I know why that happened, right? Because I stopped doing a couple things that I was doing previously when I was strong and built up in the word, right? So that's okay, because the devil he has no playground right here, right? And he's never gonna have a playground. So I said that to say that, you know, again, they started out a little rough, but that's all right, because started out, had a phone interview, right? Lost a job, but had a phone interview, good. So went really, really, really well. Took the assessment, got the second part scheduled for this Thursday. So, you know, keep me in your prayers, y'all. The other thing is that, you know, I was able to be a blessing to someone else, right? And I think that what we should realize is that we are here to serve and to love and to help others, right? It's not always about ourselves. So just to be able, you know, to talk to my sister earlier today and just to be a blessing to her on today, it's just, you know, it just gave me encouragement, you know, to just know that there's purpose in this struggle, okay? There is purpose behind everything that I'm going through, right? And so able to be a blessing to someone else on today. And so I thank God for that. After that, finished up my, you know, assessment and all of that. Then I went and worked at the food pantry at my church, which is another blessing, right? When I tell you that it is such, it gives me so much joy to just serve others, right? And I took a test that, you know, gives you your fruits of the spirit, right? And the one of the two is, you know, hospitality. And that's people that you want to serve others, right? And so I love serving people, right? but then also the gift of discernment, right? And I need to use that a little bit more because I know, right? I know better. And when he gives you that gift and then you ignore that discernment, like, come on now. He's showing you, he's telling you, like, and you know it, but then you still doing what you want to do, okay? So that's when he's going to punish you. Well, not really punish you, but that's when you're going to suffer some consequences because you did what you wanted to do instead of listening to that discernment, okay? So, needless to say, well, let me back up. I forgot a whole part. So, went to Walmart before I had to get the little dog some food, right? And so, went to Walmart, got some food, and while I'm in there shopping around, I was looking for these little pens that I like. I'm in the aisle, and I overhear a conversation, and they're talking about God, right? So, I don't, interfere at first. So, I'm just, observing the conversation or whatever, and they're talking about, this man is of the devil, and he this, and he that, or whatever, right? So the one young lady, she says, well, I'm never going to step foot into a church again. So I said, whoo, that's my cue. So I came on out the aisle, right? So God will put you in places, right? He'll put you in places so that you can give someone a word, okay? So came out the aisle, went to the next aisle, and I said to the young lady, I said, well, you know what? Maybe you just haven't visited the right church yet, And so she starts telling me about, that she don't believe in going to church. She's taking her children to a church and, is, full of a bunch of crooks and people that all they want is your money and this and that and whatever. And then there's a guy standing there. So she's an associate and he's the security guard. And so they're talking. So then he interjects and he's talking about how, the choir director is gay and, the pastor, driving a Bentley or like a Maybach or, real expensive, lavish car and got $1 million house and all this and all that. I said, you know what? I ain't trying to be funny, but you don't think that the man of God is supposed to have prosperity as well? And he said, well, you know what? It's not that he has prosperity, but, it's a rundown church. I said, I find that hard to believe. I said, but okay. So he gave me an example of a church. I said, well, I visited that church before I became a member of where I am now. So actually, my husband and I, we went to that church prior to us even getting married. And that's not no small church. I said, that's one of the larger, I wouldn't call it a mega church like, TD Jakes or anything like that, but it is a huge church. So, of course, that man of God gonna drive a nice vehicle, right? I said, so do you want to follow somebody that's on the bus? Honestly. And he was like, and I said, and from what I see, the building is being built, ministries are being, followed, so, but here's the thing is that the word tells us not to speak anything negative. Don't put your mouth, okay? Don't put your mouth on a man of God, right? And if you have anything you want to say about, a man of God, then, pray for him, right? Pray for him. And then after you've done that, right? And if you still feel like that person, even a pastor, right? And if it's your pastor, right? You can go to that man and you can have a conversation with him. As long as you go to him in a godly manner. Because the Bible tells us, if a man is doing wrong, that you are to reproof, right? So who are you to judge somebody and you haven't even tried to provide the godly correction, or better yet, take the speck out your own eye before you try to judge that man, right? Because the Bible tells us that, you cannot judge, right? It's not our place to judge anyone. Just pray for them, right? And so some of the things that, he kept saying or whatever. And I told him, I said, well, you know what? All I'm going to say is, again, maybe you just haven't visited the right church. So I'm going to invite y'all to the best church on this side of heaven, okay? New Hope Christian Community Church in Monique, Illinois. We at the Walmart, okay? So I told him, I said, get on 57, go south, right? Get off on Monique, Manhattan Road, and go left. Keep going all the way down until you get to, I forget the name of that street, Egyptian Trail. Then you turn right, then you go around a little roundabout, and you go up Court Street, right? And you're going to run into the church on the left-hand side. Can't miss it, okay? So when you get there, I want you to park in the parking lot. Got a couple visitor spots on the left. Well, when you first come into the parking lot, go to the left. There's 2 visitor parking spots on the left, right? Park right there. Come on in the front door. You're going to meet a man of God, okay? You're going to meet our very own pastor, right? Pastor Hunt and his beautiful wife, Veronica. And then you're going to meet our very own Pastor Joe Johnson, right? And his beautiful wife, who's our choir director as well, Latoya, okay? But then, here's the best part. You are going to be surrounded by nothing but love and welcoming and spirits that are going to just make you feel like you've never felt before. And I promise you, once you come, you're going to keep on coming, okay? And you're going to have a totally different experience, okay? All right, so fast forward. Go home, feed the dogs. Then I go to the food pantry. Serve everybody in the community. Fellowship with my other brothers and sisters in Christ. And I normally don't go outside because it was cold outside a little bit today. So I normally don't go outside by the cars. But I went outside. And I didn't even know that Pastor Joe was there. So, because I would have been inside. So I go outside, I see Pastor Joe. I say, hey, Pastor Joe. So we talking and whatever. And we walking back up the little driveway. And I almost tripped and fell, y'all. So he told me he's going to bandage me up if I had gotten hurt and make me go back in there and finish, the food pantry. And you know what? I agree, right? Because once you come to serve God and you have something to do, you need to keep doing it, right? So anyways, so we're standing there. And I said, you know what, Pastor Joe? Today, I went to Walmart. And I told him the story of what I told you guys as far as, seeing, overhearing the conversation, how it came around and everything that I said. And I told him, I said, well, you know what I want you to do? It's the Walmart up the street in Richton Park. I said, if you ever in there, I described to him the security guard. I couldn't describe to him the young lady because it's probably way too many, but he'll be able to pick out the security guard because he's normally at the front door. And it's a couple different ones, but I described him to where he would know who I was talking about. I said, so if you're ever in there, I said, I want you to go to this security guard and I want you to share that godly love that I know you have because you talk to everybody. And he said, well, you know what, Sister Daphne? I'm going to give you some cards and you can take the card back to him. I said, you know what, you sure right. I sure can do that because my job wasn't done yet, okay? So, finished food pantry. And I needed to take some people home. I took them home. And then after the food pantry, after I took them home, I went right to Walmart. Came right on up, got on 57 North, got off on, I always forget the name of that street. Well, I got on University Parkway. I got off right there, went to the Walmart. He wasn't at the front door, okay? So I said, I'm gonna find this man. But there was another security guard in there. So I said, dang, well, if it's another security guard here now, so that means he must be gone. So, but I saw Mr. John. So Mr. John, y'all, if y'all ain't never been to the Richmond Park Walmart, you got to go in. He's a shorter, older gentleman. Man, he will make you feel like $1 million, okay? Because his spirit, he has the best spirit, okay? But anyways, so that's my friend, Mr. John. He's a greeter at the Walmart in Richmond Park. And so I saw him walking away as I was coming. I said, devil, you a lie. I'm going to go catch Mr. John. So I walked and walked. And then I finally caught up to him. And I said, you know what, Mr. John? I told him the story. I didn't tell him the whole story. I just gave him a condensed version because he was on his lunch, right? So I wasn't trying to take, all his lunchtime. But he would have sat there and talked to me and then he probably wouldn't have ate, right? So I told him what happened, and I said, I'm going to give you these 2 cards. I want you to give one to Miss Jessica, and I want you to give one to the security guard. And he told me what his name was, but I forgot. So he took the cards and he said, you know what? Well, I'm going to come to church too. I said, all right then, Mr. John, you come on to church too. Now, let me tell you. So Mr. John, I've been knowing him for a couple years now, right? And never invited him to church, okay? But I promise you, he going to come. Promise you, he going to come. So I just wanted to let you guys all know that, you know, anything is possible with God, right? Even when it comes to, you know, generational curses or just being put in the right place at the right time, right? And so if God gives you a word to say, or just like you feel like, you know, I need to say something, do it. Because you never know what that person may be experiencing, and just your words of kindness or it can help that individual, right? And those are ways that we break generational curses, because they don't just apply to your immediate family, right? They apply to the entire world, right? And that's one of the things I shared with those individuals is about, well, you know, we are not going to be here one day. So what's going to happen when we're gone? Then who are our kids going to follow? And their kids and their kids' kids, right? We're going to have a world full of lost people if we don't teach our children, or we don't walk according. Because how can we teach somebody how to do something we ain't doing? It's like telling somebody, you know, don't touch that stove because it's hot, right? But then you go stick your hand in it and you burn yourself on purpose, right? So you got to be an example before your children. You got to be an example, you know, and you got to surround yourself with like-minded people. So before I go, I want you guys to share in on one of my favorite songs, okay? And we gonna jam on out to this song, and I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Hey, Google, turn the volume up to max. Is moving right now. You are still showing up at the door. They ain't never lost a battle, y'all. Your voice is calling me now. And my God, I know you're able. And my God, come through right now. You gonna come through, y'all. You can do all things. Like you tell your friends, come through. You better tell God to come through. Things but fail. Cause you never lost a battle. No, you never lost a battle. And I know. For those of y'all that know, I'm fighting a war right now, y'all. I got some things to do. God told me to do. Because it's possible. And the Holy Ghost, a new wind is blowing right now. You hear what he said? Breaking your heart of stone. Because that's what I had to do. I had to clean my heart. My God, I know you're able. And my God, I don't sound as good as I do when Latoya up there directing me, y'all, but I don't care. I wasn't here to sound good. You all things, but you never lost a battle, and you never lost a battle, and I know I'll never will. You can do all things. You can do all things but fail. But you never lost a battle. It's been a tough day, y'all. And I know you never will. He will never, ever lose a battle, guys. As long as you trust.
Without someone just crying.
And you just believe.
Buy $30 worth of milk for a $10 gift card in the fetch.
Stop playing music.
Take me to the king.
That's what you gotta do, right? Even when you have nothing to bring. Your heart is broke.
It's my offering. Take me to the king. Truth is I'm tired. Options are few. I'm trying to pray, but where are you?
Alright guys, I'm on
church ground.
I'm gonna go. But y'all have a wonderful evening. And I'm gonna talk to y'all tomorrow.
I can't